You're in my domain, got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane, it's over before you know it. While you shaking, we're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty, now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory.
After an off week, the Pizza Hut X Series drivers are ready to go racing. Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to race number 13 of the 4th season of the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series as we get ready to go racing, continuing our weekend here from the Arizona Speedway. We continue on our chase towards the chase for the championship, and I believe that these drivers only have 8 more races left before the regular season comes to a close, so only 8 more opportunities for drivers that have not yet positioned themselves to get into this season's playoffs. They have that many opportunities to try and do it, including tonight's race here at Arizona, which could potentially be a fuel race. Now, it almost looked like we might have had a fuel race in last night's Tax Slayer Truck Series race, but a caution that came out near the midway point of the race allowed drivers to save enough fuel to be able to make it to the end. Will we see the caution wave here tonight, or will these drivers and crew chiefs have to start working the calculators and figuring out when they need to come to pit road and when would be the best time for them to be able to make that pit stop to gain track position and maybe take a checkered flag here tonight? Now, coming into this race, we only have one driver now that has gone to victory lane twice this season. And it was 2 weeks ago at our last race at Charlotte, where, was it Charlotte? Or was it Phoenix? It was Phoenix, I'm sorry, where that actually took place. That was Nathan Hudson. Now, Hudson has managed to make his way up into the top 30 in the points as well. He's 28th in the standings coming in this race after that second win. So right now, he would be in the number 1 seed, which means now drivers that have a win this season, they may have to start thinking about maybe going to victory lane a second time. Drivers like M McIntire, C Dollerton, Charles Jackson, Jordan Lopez. We're going to have to wait and see if they're going to be able to maybe get their second checkered flag of the season here tonight. But you look up here towards the front of the field, Ashlyn Boyd, former playoff driver from last season. So far, no victories. 30th in the point standings. Alongside of her, Cody Lamas, 19th in the point standings, but also winless this season. This is a track where sometimes track position does come into play. We're going to have to see if that'll be the case here tonight. Look who's rolling off third. This has maybe been one of the quieter drivers this season. I actually looked at the point standings coming to this race and I thought, wow, he's up there in 4th place, and that's J Jefferson in the 0-5. Let's get the command and then I'll finish my thought.
Drivers, start your engines!
And J Jefferson last went to victory lane last year at Talladega Super Speedway in what was a Flying Aces Racing 1-2 finish with then teammate Benny Watson. So keep an eye on that 0-5 of J Jefferson. He's been very consistent last couple of weeks. He may be a contender for this win here tonight. Highest starting former winner is M McIntire, rolling off there from the outside of the second row there in the 4th position, and then another former winner, his teammate C Dollerton, completes the top 5. Let's give you your top 10 of the point standings coming into this race, presented by Golden Corral. A Baranauskas is still the points leader, 15 points in hand over Clary Ericsson, so it is female power at the top of the leaderboard. A Navarro, who rolls off from the 6th position tonight, is 3rd in points, only 16 points out, so Baranauskas, Ericsson, and Navarro could be in a battle for the points lead this evening. J Jefferson, we mentioned, 4th in the points coming into this race. Quentin Moore in 5th. Should point out, top 5 in the points, all zeros in the win column. Then M McIntire in 6th. 7th is B Braley. Charles Jackson in 8th. 9th is C Dollerton, and 10th is Jordan Lopez. So as we wait for the pace car to hit pit road, we're getting ready to turn these drivers loose for 41 laps of racing. Ashlyn Boyd and Cody Lamas, a Toyota and a Chevy, lead us to the green. It's in the air. Let's roll. Already 3 wide for the lead, thinks J Jefferson. He's going to make it stick there, it looks like, and he's going to go to the front out of turn 2. What a bold move by the Reddit Zaxby Chevrolet. And it's going to pay off as he's going to try and lead the first lap. Cody Lamas gets kicked way up to the outside line. Chris Dollerton going to move to second, maybe not. Cole Deaver going to challenge for that spot, and it will be J Jefferson leading the first lap of this race. And I was saying maybe this thing will go into a long green flag run, but they're 3 wide, about 2-3 rows deep. Maybe that's not going to happen. Justin Tucker, our winner from Bristol, now moves up to 3rd. Mark Davidson's going to move up to 4th place, our winner from Charlotte. Oh, and we got a wreck. I heard them wrecking back there, and the caution lights are on. So on lap number 2, the first caution of the evening, Cole Deaver was starting to mount a charge there on J Jefferson, but going to have to wait and try again here on the next restart. Yellow flag out for the first time, and I almost thought that we might end up seeing an early yellow the way they were racing 3 wide, quite a number of rows deep there. A lot of times drivers will slide up in the corners, get hooked in the right rear. That might have been a case of what happened here. There you see the smoke. It looks like James Shelly in the 71 was involved in whatever it was. William Brock in the 62. That car looks like it's done for the evening. Oh man, there's James Qualls, the 27. Joanna Atwood Motorsports entry. Got some damage on the left side of our points leader, A Baranauskas. Looks like maybe some potential damage as well in the 24 of G Sydnor. Chelsea Bowles, Kyle Langeland, and Mason Wood all coming to pit road as well, so they may have gotten bits and pieces of the wreck. Oh yeah, there's actually some, I thought there was some left side damage on the Dodge Challenger of Chelsea Bowles. Perhaps not. Maybe it's on the right side and I'm just not seeing it. William Brock bringing it to pit road. So as J Jefferson leads us under our first caution of the evening, let's look back and see what happened. Well, this wreck started all the way in turn 2, ended in 3 and 4. Here you see them almost 4 wide. Kyle Langeland trying to get to the inside of B Braley. Keeps leaning on that left rear quarter panel, and it sends the 0-2 down onto the apron. Langland's also down there as well, and there's just no way you can carry the amount of speed they were trying to into the corner as low as they entered in. Braley actually, I think, held on to it, but then Langeland crowds James Qualls. Qualls trying to give him room, but he can't give him too much room because he's got A Baranauskas to his outside, and there you see it. G Sydnor gets pinned up against the wall. Mason Wood gets turned. Chloe Ericsson did get a piece of that. And there must have been something that happened further up, too, because Shelly and Brock and Chelsea Bowles, they all got through that. I don't know if maybe there was another wreck coming to the yellow flag. But right there you see the 46 of Ericsson, the 77 of Langeland, the 27 of Qualls, the 2 of Baranauskas, the points leader. Mason Wood in the 18, G Sydnor in the 24, and oh, no, here's the other wreck. And it involves Shelly and Brock. Let's see what this was. Oh, watch the 31. Chelsea Bowles on the apron. Carries too much speed. It slides up the track straight into Shelly, and then nowhere for William Brock to go as well. Boy, that was nose first for the 62. That was a hard hit into that outside wall. No safer barriers here. And Shelly with a hard lick as well. You could see the black smoke immediately erupting from beneath both the 71 and the 62's Camaro's hoods. And that spells the end to an early evening for both of those drivers. And that's what brought out the caution for the first time here tonight at Arizona. Lights are out atop the Chevy Corvette pace car. We'll go back green flag racing on lap 7 of 41. Let's give you a rundown of your top 10. J Jefferson's the race leader. Cole Deaver in second. Third place is Justin Tucker. And you've got Mark Davidson in fourth. Fifth place, Seth Cole. So right now, the top 5 comprised of 3 former winners from this season. A Eisestein, another former winner, is up in 6th. A Navarro runs 7th. 8th place, M McIntire. 9th is C Dollerton. And completing your top 10 is Christian Merrick Jr. After the incident, we have a total of 3 drivers that have officially retired from the race. William Brock, James Qualls, and James Shelly. The other drivers that got involved in the incidents, like Chelsea Bowles, Mason Wood, Chloe Ericsson, Kyle Langeland, A Baranauskas, and G Sydnor, they have all returned back to the track. They are on the lead lap, but you got to think, if this thing goes into a long green flag run and they're not up to speed, the leaders could encounter them at some point during the cycle of this race. So green flag going to come back out into the air. Let's see if J Jefferson can hold him off again. Timed that green flag pretty well. Deaver was a little bit off, but managed to keep somewhat in touch with the 05, and now we'll see what happens when these tires start to heat up and these engines get up to full song. Looks like it's going to be the 19 of Justin Tucker that gets the good restart. The Juniper Toyota Camry out of Joe Gibbs Racing. Picked up his first career win in one of our dual races back at Bristol Dirt. And now looking to go to victory lane for the second time. As a matter of fact, as I think back, I might be wrong in this, but to my memory, when Justin Tucker went to victory lane at Bristol Dirt, it was the first time the 19 car went to victory lane in the Pizza Hut X Series. Because I remember that Michael Haas drove the 19 for a couple of seasons, but never found victory lane, and I cannot remember who drove the 19 back in season 1. It might have been Jeremy Jones. Can't quite remember though. Battle is on for second, and very quickly over. Seth Cole moving by A Eisestein. Aubrey, a good run for her tonight. 31st in the points, needs to get back into the top 30 in the standings for her win to count towards a playoff position, and currently up in the top 5. Seth Cole in second, trying to run down J Jefferson. M McIntire now moving to third, and right behind him, Christian Merrick Jr. in the 78, taking 4th place away from the 3. Battle for the lead may be on. Seth Cole taking a look. 18th in the points, a win this season for Seth Cole. Right behind him, M McIntire, 6th in the points with a win. Seth Cole trying the bottom here out of turn 4. Couldn't quite get the run off the corner. J Jefferson using the outside line got the better exit off turn 4. And now M McIntire is going to do the crossover. He'll try and take second from Seth Cole. He'll succeed in doing so. Got a nice exit out of 2. He might have thoughts about taking the race lead from J Jefferson going down here into 3. Things are pretty much single file through the front of the field, but it's not stopping these drivers from utilizing the slingshot into turns 1 and 3. And now Seth Cole going to slingshot on M McIntire for second. McIntire throws the block and also goes to the inside of Jefferson. Put the Liberty University Chevrolet out in front. What a move by M McIntire. Not only stopping the move that Seth Cole tried to make on him, but also becoming the first driver to take away the race lead from J Jefferson since lap 1. Seth Cole now moves into second place. Wow, look at that. Jerking the steering wheel to the left, Seth Cole to make the move on M McIntire. And while we've got all these Chevys up here, there is a blue oval that has cracked the top 5, and that is former winner this season from Kyalami, Scott Roush in the 38. Now moving by M McIntire for third place. Scott Roush, 14th in the point standings. Former winner this season, trying to get his second win. And I also noticed there's another blue oval working his way up into the top 10. There he is. Our winner last time out at Phoenix, Nathan Hudson, the only 2-time winner this season. He's now up, I believe he scored in the 7th position, I believe. As up front, battle for the lead, back on. Seth Cole has it. Aubrey Eselstein wants it. She's going to go to the inside in turn 1. And I'll tell you one driver that really got kicked up to the high groove and is faded fast, and that is the former leader, J Jefferson in the 0-5. Here comes Scott Roush. Scott Roush trying to get Kev Shear Racing Tech their 3rd win of the season. Already Roush and Lopez have been to victory lane once. And Roush will clear off turn 4, and he will lead a lap. Another driver I'm seeing working his way up towards the front here, and that's the 70 of Joshua Osborne. His teammate J Qualls already out of this race after getting involved in our first wreck of the evening on lap 2. Went back green lap 7, and we've been clean and green since then up to this point. I believe out of the 12 spots that are available in the playoffs right now, obviously Nathan Hudson holds one, being a 2-time winner. He's joined by former winners Matt McIntire, Charles Jackson, Chris Dollerton, Jordan Lopez, Scott Roush, Mark Davidson, Seth Cole, Ying Canario, Justin Tucker, Dougie Shears. Now with where Aubrey Eselstein is running right now, she would be up inside the top 30 in points, which would take that final 12th position. But if she is not going to be finishing this race where she's currently running, then, ooh, there might have been some contact right there between her and Seth Cole. Then that would open the door for a driver that's running highest in points without a win, which right now would be the points leader, A Baranauskas. Keep in mind, though, you look at someone like Joshua Osborne, who comes into this race 20th in the points. If he goes to victory lane, he leapfrogs drivers like Canario, Tucker, and Shears, because he's higher than them in the point standings. That 70 car trying to get Joanna Atwood Motorsports their first win since Season 2, when both Osborne and Qualls went to victory lane a total of 4 times. They were entirely winless in Season 3, and so far have been winless here in Season 4. As Scott Roush shows the way, it's good to take an opportunity here to find out who our former winners are at this racetrack. I apparently am not able to find out for Season 1, since I still, for some reason, haven't done the listing of the former winners from that season. But if we look at Season 2, J Qualls was actually a former winner at this track. Doesn't look like he'll be going for his 2nd win at this track here today. And then the defending winner at this race 1 year ago is also not in this field. That is RJ Reynolds, who we will see in tomorrow's Hershey's Cup Series race. It's kind of interesting because heading into this weekend, the former Truck Series winner was Jordan Lopez. He's in today's field, and then the former Pizza Deck Series driver that won here is in tomorrow's Hershey's Cup Series race. Best battling's going on for 2nd place. Seth Cole going to take the spot from Aubrey Eselstein, and now Joshua Osborne trying to take 3rd place. Another driver that's popped up into the top 10. How about the Chevrolet of Jessica Miles there in the 25? Jessica Miles comes into this race currently situated 26th in points. Didn't have a good outing at Phoenix. Looking really good right now, right behind our Phoenix race winner Nathan Hudson. And J Jefferson, we saw him up leading this race in the early portions, and now he's fighting to try and stay inside of the top 10. Battling right now for 9th place with Matt McIntire, Christian Merrick Jr. in this group. Quentin Moore, Joshua Hyatt there in the 92, as well as Angel Navarro in the 97, who right now could potentially be the points leader heading into next week's race at Iowa. He's currently scored, I believe, in the 14th position. He needs to be running 16 positions ahead of A Baranauskas, so Baranauskas needs to be running 31st or worse. And right now, the 2 car is scored in 36th. Chloe Ericsson back in 38th was 2nd in the points. So right now, Angel Navarro, I believe, would be situated to take the points lead over heading into next week. Battle for 2nd, it's over very quickly. Joshua Osborne going to take the spot away from Seth Cole. At this point, this battling is going on about a half second behind the current race leader, Scott Roush. So these drivers, they still have a little bit of time, but they can't wait too long. They got to start putting aside their differences in battling for second and focus on running down that 38 car. Right now it's a Ford in first, a Chevy in second, a Toyota in third. As Scott Roush trying to get his second win of the season. Roush got his first career win at a road course this year in South Africa at Kyalami. And now trying to get his second career win in what would only be, I believe, his, nope, I'm sorry. I'm not even going to finish that statement. Scott Roush actually did run last year. I believe he ran last year. Yeah, he did. I was going to say it would only be his 13th start, but actually, in all truth, it would be his 40th start of the season, or of his career, I should say. I've been looking at the telemetry up on the top left, and little by little, Joshua Osborne is chipping away. So if Osborne goes to victory lane, then in 4 races here, it will be a Joanna Atwood Motorsports car that went to victory lane, because as we mentioned, James Qualls was the winner of this event 2 years ago. So Osborne trying to put a little bit of silver lining in what's been a gray cloud for Joanna Atwood Motorsports for the last season and a half. We got Justin Tucker right there in third place, and he's getting hounded now by Cole Deaver. That's the battle that's inside the top 5 right now. Deaver comes into this race currently situated way down in the point standings. He's 36th in points coming into this race. Had a pretty solid outing at Phoenix last week where he brought the 15 car home in the 10th position. We having pit stops? No, we got a caution. Caution is out. And this changes up everything. Oh, looks like we had an incident out of turn 4 here onto the front straightaway. Oh, there's a number of sets of skid marks there as well. That's Baranauskas, the points leader, smoking on the apron. And as I said, this changes up everything. It was a caution in the truck race that bunched everyone back up, and then the top 10 looked entirely different from the midway point of the race towards the checkered flag, and now Scott Roush not only will have to deal with Joshua Osborne, but just about everybody else here on this restart. Now the question is, are these drivers going to come to pit road here? It looks like they are, so boy, you kind of hate to see that caution come out because we could have potentially seen green flag pit stops here in the closing stages of this race. It looks like they could not make it on fuel. Carson Gum, the 99, on pit road. Another of the back marker motorsports cars encountering issues here tonight. So we know that Carson Gum and A Baranauskas at least were 2 of the drivers that were involved in whatever the incident was on the front straightaway. Is Scott Roush down and away? Question is, will he be first off pit road? He was first on. Oh, trouble up there! Got contact between Matt McIntire, Cole Deaver, and Cody Lamas. And McIntire and Deaver are still kind of hooked together there in one of the pit stalls. 2 drivers that were running inside the top 10 when that caution came out. And it looks like Scott Roush did get off pit road first, but we got trouble on pit road here between the 9 and the 15. We'll have to look and see what happened there. We'll also look at what brought out the caution, as we will be restarting with less than 10 laps to go here at Arizona. There it was. They were 4 wide. Pole sitter Ashlyn Boyd, driver that was out in front for a good portion of the beginning of this race, J Jefferson. And there you see it was Christian Merrick Jr. makes the contact with Jefferson, sends him into the 20. And Christian Merrick Jr. is actually the car that snaps loose, collects Carson Gum, who goes up and hits the outside retaining wall. Going to get a little contact right there from Z Flickinger's right front. And then you watch as Carson Gum's trying to hold the brakes, comes right down in front of traffic, and it's going to be the 31 of Chelsea Bowles that clobbers him. Then she gets nailed from behind by A Baranauskas. K Langeland's going to get a piece of it there as well in the 77. The waters part for G Sydnor and C Ericsson. Boy, Baranauskas. Not only the hit into the back of Chelsea Bowles, but then straight up into the outside wall. And you can see back there Mason Wood just clears Carson Gum. And then I believe he's going to get through the wreck. Yeah, he's going to sneak his way right through the middle and avoid. I don't think Christian Merrick Jr. really hit anything. So a lucky break there for the 78. But Langeland, Baranauskas, Bowles, and Gum, no doubt their evening will probably be over. Now let's see what happened on pit road. Now we're going to follow the 9 of M McIntire. J Deaver is up ahead of him. He's heading into his pit stall. Now, as I recall, M McIntire had a pit stall, I think, ahead of J Deaver, because Matt started this race from, I think it was the 5th position. Trying to remember where Deaver started this race from. So as the 9's coming down to his pit stall, it was down here near the front of the pit lane as well. Okay, there you see top right of your screen. There's Deaver pulling into pit lane. And he does get into his pit box. I thought maybe he missed his pit stall. And then let's see what happens here with the 9. Oh, Deaver went with a gas and go. He comes off pit road, and oh, I think McIntyre missed his pit stall. Oh, Lord. What the heck? And then there's Cody Lamas going to get a piece of that. But the 9 car was off the ground. I think M McIntyre missed his pit stall. He tried turning in way too late, and Deaver, who was trying to get the race lead with a gas and go strategy, just got boxed in. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. And as a consequence, I think J Deaver just retired out of the race. Man, that is a tough break for J Deaver. Was trying a potentially race-winning strategy. That's a tough break too for M McIntyre, missing his pit stall and then collecting J Deaver in that incident. 2 drivers that at the time of caution were running inside of the top 10, and that's what the incident was on pit road. That was quite bizarre. When we restart, we'll have 8 laps remaining in this race. Hopefully it'll finish under green, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, we've got some other issues that are going on here. Jordan Lopez is on pit road in the 34. He's now leaving pit lane, but he's got some roof damage on his machine. So I'm not certain what happened with him. And J Deaver was sitting on pit road just a moment ago. But it looks like now they have actually pushed his car back behind the wall. So, at this point, out of the race after the incidents we saw, J Deaver, A Baranauskas, Chelsea Bowles, Carson Gum, they joined William Brock, James Qualls, and James Shelly back in the garage area. Jordan Lopez saw that he had issues. His teammate, though, is out in front. He'll restart ahead of Joshua Osborne, Jessica Miles, Nathan Hudson, and Joshua Hyatt. That's your top 5. Seth Cole, A Eisestein, Quentin Moore, Steve Morgan now in the top 10 and 9th. And 10th place, Justin Tucker. 8 laps to go. Green flag back in the air here at Arizona. Three wide. That's for 4th place. Jessica Miles going to get by Joshua Osborne for 2nd. Got some new players up here towards the front. The 92 of Hyatt, the 89 of Moore, the 60 of Morgan. As Jessica Miles sets her sights on that 38 car. Along for 3rd, Seth Cole trying to get by Joshua Osborne. Jessica Miles slowly reeling in that Advocare Ford. Jessica Miles, we already documented, comes into this race in the 26th position. A couple of drivers she could leapfrog in the points standings would include Canario, Tucker, and Shears if she can go to victory lane. That time by just about a quarter of a second behind the 38. Seth Cole now slots in third, Steve Morgan fourth, Quentin Moore in fifth. Cody Lamas, who started on the outside of the front row, charging up towards the front. A couple of drivers fading back here in the closing stages. Hudson in the 11, Osborne in the 70. That time by, gap between first and second stayed about the same. Scott Roush gained about 100th. Jessica Miles and Scott Roush seem to be just about even in terms of speed. So Jessica Miles has got to find a spot here on the track where she's a little bit stronger than the 38. I think she may have closed the gap up that time. Visibly, it looks like the gap's been closed. Let's see if the telemetry agrees. Nope, still about the same. Still about 2.5 tenths. So Scott Roush right now, I think all he's got to do is just run his line. Jessica Miles going to have to do something a little bit different to try and close up the gap, because right now she's not gaining and she's not losing. And with that being said, she's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because there's only 3 laps to go. This time by, she lost a little ground. Third place changed hands. Steve Morgan, the rookie, now moves up into third spot. Quentin Moore into fourth. Seth Cole dropped from third back to fifth. Steve Morgan, who dropped 7 spots in the stands after Phoenix last week to 13th in points, trying to rebound. Well, that time, I think Miles may have gained. Yeah, cut it down by about 9/100ths. There's only 2 laps to go. Trying to get into the draft of the 38 is the 25 to try and get a run on these straightaways. I think she realizes now is the time to go. So maybe she was holding back. Maybe she was saving her stuff. Oh, she closed it up nicely there through 3 and 4. She's going to be there when they get to 1 and 2 potentially. White flag in the air. Scott Roush, Jessica Miles, they will settle out this win. Miles gonna drive it deep into the corner. Can she get back to the throttle and follow it up down the back straightaway? Yes, she can. Can she make the move into 3 and 4, though, is the question. Is she close enough? Into turn 3. Miles gonna get as low as she can. She can't quite get to his back bumper, though. Scott Roush hangs on. Second win of the season. Scott Roush takes the checkers here tonight at Arizona Speedway. Man, credit Jessica Miles. She gave it all it was worth. Almost had it timed right. Maybe should have gotten a little bit more aggressive 1 lap earlier and she might have been able to make the move. But Scott Roush, that caution flag did not faze him at all. He continued to hit his marks after the restart, and in his 40th career start, he picks up his 2nd career win. And Scott Roush, who came into this race in the 14th position in points, that win may have just secured him a spot officially in the chase for the championship for the Pizza Hut X Series. Strong Ford he had under him tonight. Standings, I believe, are official. They are indeed. So Scott Roush, he's won at a road course and now at a 1.5 miles this season, as he gets win number 2. Jessica Miles gets Rookie of the Race. Almost got her first win of her Pizza Hut X Series career. She'll have to settle for runner-up. Steve Morgan's going to complete the podium there. Nice to see Steve get another solid outing there in that Roush Fenway entry. Quentin Moore is going to bring it home in 4th. How about Diego Yepez? We never talked at all tonight about that 21 car. He's going to finish in 5th. Seth Cole brings it home 6th. Ryan George, another driver we didn't talk about tonight, he's going to get 7th. 8th for Mark Davidson. Aubrey Eisestein brings it home in 9th. And 10th place was Justin Tucker. How about the Fords? They finish in 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th as far as the top 10 is concerned. Dougie Shears gets 11th, so a great run for him. That's a driver that really needed a good run, too. He came into this race 25th in points, our former winner from Rio de Janeiro this season. Eli Bright's going to get 12th, 13th for Angel Navarro. Phil Parker 14th, Chris Dollerton 15th. Alex Gray brings it home in 16th, and he's been in a tooth and nail battle with Ben Braley for the Rookie of the Year honor standings points lead. So I think he'll take the points lead over Ben Braley now with his 16th place run. Cody Lamas brings it home in 17th. He faded back there in the closing stages. Jake Rogers 18th, Ian Canario 19th, and Nathan Hudson was up there near the front, but he faded back in the closing stages to finish in 20th. Looking down through the remainder of the finishing results there, J Jefferson, he finishes 21st. Pole sitter Ashlyn Boyd, 22nd. Joshua Osborne was up near the front in the closing stages, but he finishes in 25th. And you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results there, we had 33 cars finish on the lead lap, 2 cars a lap down, Jordan Lopez and Daniel Olson. So you got to wonder if the roof damage Lopez got was maybe from an incident with Daniel Olson. And then out of the race, 7 cars in total, Cole Deaver due to a pit road incident. And then A Baranauskas, Chelsea Bowles, Carson Gumb, William Brock, James Qualls, and James Shelly after 2 caution flags waved this evening. But that is going to do it here tonight. From Arizona, Scott Roush may have just locked himself up a confirmed spot in the playoffs for the Pizza Hut X Series chase for the championship. Only time will tell. Thank you all for tuning in tonight's race. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become a part of the crew today. We have shown you your full feature results. These are your rookie point stands and your overall point stands heading into next week, where the Trucks and Pizza Hut X Series drivers will be going to Iowa. Hershey's Cup Series drivers will be going dirt track racing at the Springfield Mile. We still have to finish off this race weekend from Arizona, though. Tomorrow, you'll see the Hershey's Cup Series drivers in action, and that could potentially be a fuel strategy race. So far, we haven't really had fuel strategy races here this week. The caution flag has kind of ruined those, so maybe, just maybe tomorrow, we'll see a fuel strategy race with maybe a potential playoff spot on the line. Till then, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching Protecting the NSCRA Offline Racing at its best. Good night from Arizona.